Albert Einstein once said that the world is a dangerous place, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who look on and do nothing. Every 7 minutes, a child is bullied on a school playground. Over 85% of those instances occur without any intervention. Hello, I'm Richard Wiles, Sheriff of El Paso County. I would like to welcome you to our show, Enough, a show dedicated to putting an end to bullying.
Hello and welcome to Enough, a show dedicated to putting an end to bullying. I'm Chief Deputy Eddie Campa of the El Paso County Sheriff's Office and Chairman of the Anti-Bullying Coalition. The Anti-Bullying Coalition was formed to address the growing bullying epidemic sweeping through El Paso County and the nation. In 2009, El Paso County Sheriff Richard Wiles noticed an increase in the number of bullying incidents coming into our office and asked us to address the issue. In 2010, the El Paso County Sheriff's Office Anti-Bullying Coalition was formed, and in 2011, El Paso County Commissioners signed a proclamation proclaiming El Paso County to be a bully-free zone. The mission of the Anti-Bullying Coalition is to educate the community on the growing dangers of bullying and to spread the message that bullying will not be tolerated. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office and the Anti-Bullying Coalition will stand by those that have fallen victim to bullying as we stand by them and say enough to bullying. What you're about to see next is a public service announcement that was filmed by the El Paso Independent School District along with the help of the El Paso County Sheriff's Explorers on an incident that might occur in our schools. Joining us today on Enough is Detective Robert Horstman of the El Paso County Sheriff's Office and School Counselor Eden Tabbutt from the Clint Independent School District. Welcome and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Eden, I have a question for you. Do you see bullying as a problem in the elementary schools, and if so, how bad is that problem?
In the elementary level, I feel that kids really don't know what bullying is. So they think they're playing rough. So what I've done is I've gone into the classrooms and told them the difference between playing and bullying. I told them playing is having fun, not hurting each other on purpose. Bullying is more a student hurting other students on purpose, whether it's emotionally or physically, over and over. At our school, I would say it's more minimal because the lower grades, they tend to just do it a one-time offense and then they learn from their mistakes. Our 4th and 5th graders is where we mostly see our bullying, and I would say probably right now we have about 4 students that have shown this behavior. So out of 1,200 students, I would say it's minimal.
Interesting. Detective Horstman, in your experience in dealing with the schools, have you seen an increase in the number of bullying cases that the Sheriff's Office is now handling?
Working primarily with middle school and high school kids doing the transition from elementary school, there tends to be an increase in the emotional type harassment. Not so much the physical where we see at the elementary school level, but now with technology, with the cell phones, with the computers, with internet, we tend to see more of the cyberbullying happening, but also a lot more of the harassment type bullying.
Well, and that's interesting, Detective, because I would think that there would be more issues in the elementary schools with name calling because they think it's funny. But you bring up a good point. Now in the technology era, we do have all of this other technology that helps make bullying even much harsher on an emotional level. So that's a good point. Ian, have you noticed that students have been that have been bullied in the past, do they become bullies?
I think in certain situations they do. At our campus, what I've noticed is usually the students will try to defend themselves right then and there at that moment. They're not randomly hurting other kids over and over and over. However, in my counseling groups, I do have 2 students who have mentioned that their siblings have bullied them, and now they're showing those behaviors in our campus. So I work with these students and help them manage their anger and make better, more positive choices.
So it really starts at home, a lot of the
It's
the
more
training.
common at home, something they see or how someone is treating them at home.
So it's important for the parents to educate their kids and let them know what bullying is and that it shouldn't be tolerated anyway.
Right, right.
Detective Horstman, what are the consequences due to bullying? Are there any legal consequences to it?
Well, it can vary. A lot of times it starts as a school problem, administrative type problem, and then it tends to progressively get worse. As far as the legal aspect is concerned, you can have anything from a Class C citation for disorderly conduct. You could possibly be looking at harassment, all the way up to actual assault charges if we're talking about a physical assault on another student. And again, that tends to be towards the older students more so than elementary school level like we were talking about.
So some of the consequences are not only monetary, but they could be some, well, even at juveniles, there's confinement time that could be attached to this.
Depending on the severity of it, yes.
Well, interesting. What steps should we as parents take to keep our kids from becoming bullies?
Well, like Ms. Tabbutt said, it's learned behavior. It's not something that they intuitively have. They're getting it from someplace. So not only is it important for our schools to teach our kids about emotional control, but as parents, we also have to teach our kids positive expression of emotions, defense mechanisms. It's okay to be angry. It's not okay to take it out on somebody. So teaching them coping skills to be able to funnel that into a positive manner instead of bullying somebody else because you're angry.
Ms. Tabbutt, what kind of programs does the Clint Independent School District have in place to help prevent or educate our students on bullying?
Well, I can talk about my school. We really don't have a program. It's more of a belief system. It's called PBIS, and it stands for Positive Behavior Intervention and Support. What this is, it's more, we teach the kids 3 values: to be respectful, responsible, and safe. And our goal is more for them to use these values in our school, but more also at home, the community, and to carry it throughout their whole life. What we do at the school is that we have a training in the beginning of the year and in January. And these students, I have 22 student trainers that train the entire school, and they show these students what does respectful look like, what does responsible look like, and safe look like in different areas of our campus. So there's always these trainers reminding our students. We also have, thanks to your deputies, we had a bullying rally, and we integrated our PBIS with the bullying, where your deputies talk to our students regarding what is bullying, what are the steps they can take regarding these situations. We also have singers who have created a video. Their song does mention being respectful, responsible, and safe. Every Monday morning we have them sing, reminding our students, so they can start the week off in a positive note. We have daily announcements where we remind and challenge our students to say something nice to someone different every day. I also have my counseling groups where I teach a certain skill, and then they're my helpers. They go and teach the rest of the campus these positive behaviors. And then I also go into the classrooms and talk to them, remind them to report, support, and stand up for themselves. And they create posters which we've displayed throughout the campus. We have banners throughout the campus saying respectful, responsible, and safe. And our students know that they can come to us at any time to report. Parents can come in or call us. And we also have a bullying prevention hotline that they can use. These are our shirts that we use on Fridays also. And we integrated the no bullying with Sirac Cubs or respectful, responsible, and safe.
Very interesting. I applaud you for taking a
Thank you.
proactive approach. Detective Horstman, do you think that, what kind of advice do you have for those students that are being bullied in the schools and don't know who to turn to? What kind of advice would you give them?
Well, first and foremost, like Ms. Tabbutt said, you need to tell somebody, whether it be a parent, a counselor, a teacher, a friend. Someone's got to know that this activity is going on. Because a lot of times what we'll see with kids is they don't know how to express that emotion, don't know where to put that emotion, so they'll stuff it down. And that's when we start to see behavioral problems in them, drops in their grade, regressive behavior on the victim's part, and then not knowing what's going on. So if somebody knows what the issues are and they start to see these behaviors, now they can be addressed. So first and foremost, letting somebody know what's going on, what the possible problem is. Second piece to that would be not engaging the bully. Every time we engage the bully, every time the bully sees us emotional or blow up, they feed off that energy. So by not engaging that energy, I've pretty much stopped the bullying. And then we can take it a step further. Once somebody knows something about it, now we can use some of the actions, some of the modifications that Ms. Tabbutt was talking about to bring that to a resolution.
Okay. Now, I guess it's also important, Detective, that our students know that, and our children know that just because we do wear a badge and a gun, that we are there to help and that we are their friends. So what kind of advice do you have for those children or those kids who look at us, law enforcement individuals, as a scare tactic as opposed to somebody that's there to help?
And that's an important issue to tell parents as well, is that we shouldn't be seen as a scare tactic. If anything, it harms the relationship, because you may have a child that wants to come tell a police officer, but they've been told by mom and dad that, if you're not good, then he's going to take you to jail. So that kind of severs that possible communication link that kid has. So instead of seeing us as a safe place or a safe person to go talk to, they're afraid because they think something bad's going to happen to them if they go talk to them. So I'd encourage them to, the police officers in the schools doing the presentations, having the kids see that, we're not just a badge, we're not just a uniform. These officers are people as well. They have kids. They've gone through possible the same things or similar things that they've had. So that kind of adds that connection between the child and the police officer.
Great. Well, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I'd
Thank you,
just
sir.
like to add that thank you so much on behalf of our schools for allowing your deputies to come and help us, because they do need positive role models, such as yourselves, to be around the school. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Joining us next, you'll finally be able to put a face to the name, as local DJs Johnny Cage, DJ Javi, and Dario the Delicious One will be joining us to discuss the issues that they see going on about bullying around the county of El Paso. Welcome back. We finally get to put a face to the voice. It's local DJs from 104.3 Hit FM joining us here today. Dario the Delicious One.
What up?
DJ Javi.
Hello.
And DJ Johnny Cage.
Commander Campa.
Thank you for coming out today, guys, and helping us be part of this bullying coalition show that we're putting on. As you all know, of course, you guys have been a tremendous asset and help to us every time that we put on one of these anti-bullying events. Dario, would you be kind enough to let the community know what kind of events you all have helped us out with?
Well, with that, we have the anti-bullying month, which happens every October. With that, we did the ribbons with you all. We basically, all the cars that went out there, we put ribbons on them, basically in support of the month. Not only that, we also ran a lot of promos during that month talking about bullying, and where we had different representatives of the city of El Paso and the county of El Paso talking about bullying. We also do the haunted house, which some of the proceeds for that go to advertise and everything for the anti-bullying month. And then we also did the run with you all, the run out bullying.
Great. Javi, let me ask you, why do you think it's important that 104 take an active role in helping us run bullying out of El Paso County?
It's a very big role because, I have a son in elementary right now, and he has been a victim of being bullied, and he actually came to me and told me exactly what was going on. So I think, especially with the radio station, it helps get the message out, to run out bullying.
Okay. Johnny, of course, we all know that a little bit of humor here.
Mm-hmm.
You've always, people always take a look at you and they think you're a bully, but in actuality, there's a really big teddy bear that helps us out a lot.
Yeah.
What is it that you think that we need to do in order to prevent bullying from occurring in our schools?
Well, I think what it comes down to is I think the kids need to be informed that it's bad. It's not right. It's not right to do it. I was bullied when I was in 2nd grade, and I still remember the kid's name, and it scars you for life. Doesn't matter if you you call someone, obese, you call them fat, you call them, whatever, you question their sexuality. It eventually, tears down that child. And as I remember I was afraid of a kid named Hiram in 2nd grade. Why? Because this kid was bigger than me. He'd come, you didn't give him your lunch money. Back then we played marbles. And if you didn't give him your marbles, he literally would just beat on you. And I remember that. And I remember going and telling my dad, look, this is what's going on. They went to the school, and I was terrified for them to go to school. And I think it's important that you let kids know, or that we need to let kids know, to speak up, to let them know, it's not okay, it's not right what's happening to them. Don't be a victim.
Fantastic. Dario, you're out at the clubs. Javi, you're out at the clubs. Of course, Johnny, you're out at the clubs. When we think of bullying, we always relate it to the school environment. But of course, it's not only just in the schools that it happens. It happens as kids are walking home from school, or even when they're out on the weekends enjoying a night out. And it doesn't only affect middle-aged kids from elementary all the way to high school. It actually is prevalent in the college world probably too, because they refer to it
Even in
more
the
as
workplace.
Oh yeah.
Even in the workplace.
Definitely.
It happens everywhere. Even adults, young kids, a little bit of everybody. Everybody does it. It's just something that really needs to be stopped. And sometimes you think, oh, I'm just messing with them. I'm just messing with them. But you don't know how really it's hurting somebody until something drastic happens.
I agree with that. I think the thing that people don't realize is that, in teenagers, they're taking it to the extreme now. You're hearing cases of suicides because these kids are being so bullied that they can't go to anyone. They feel that they're trapped. They can't talk to anybody. So their solution to everything is to, commit suicide. That's horrible. No one should have to die because of bullying. It's something that's totally preventable, something that I think parents need to take the initiative and talk to their kids about, and saying either you're, open up to your kids. Are you being bullied? How's your day? So many parents lose track of their kids' inside and forget to ask them, how was your day, mijo? How was your day? Is anything wrong? Is anything bothering you? And parents should know, there's signs that you can tell. But it, like Dario says, it goes through age groups. I've seen it in the clubs. People be bullied. You get a certain group of guys that are like looking at another guy, and it's intimidating. And you don't know what's going to happen, and it escalates into violence.
Javi, you mentioned earlier that your son was bullied. What steps have you taken as far as educating him and maybe educating your friends, nieces, nephews as to why bullying is wrong?
Well, the incident that my son went through was he was actually being bullied by a female, a young little girl. He wears glasses, and she took his glasses and she would throw them, or she was being really bullied to him. He finally came and told us because I guess he was scared. And I told him, don't be scared. You need to talk to us and tell us exactly what's going on. So we went, we took the proper steps. We talked to the teacher, and everything got resolved, thankfully. But I think it's very important for your child to come up to you and talk to you about stuff like that, because it can affect them in the long run.
Good deal. It's always important for our parents and our educators and us in law enforcement to talk to children. And you guys play a very important role, because the age groups of the people that listen to you, you guys are on the morning show, you're on the afternoon hours, you're on after work, people are driving home, driving to school. They're always listening to you all. So you guys are big role models for a lot of these individuals, and it's nice to see you all take an active approach in helping us, put an end to bullying. Dario, a question I have for you. You're a big guy.
Yep.
You'd have to be a little crazy to want to try to bully you. Have you ever been in a bullying situation?
Well, I'm not going to lie. When I was in high school and stuff, I did a lot of bullying myself, but I also got bullied. And I guess where I actually kind of stopped bullying was once it happens to yourself, that's when you're like, oh man, that's how it feels? That's how it feels? So it's I guess until it happens to you, that's when the light clicks in your head and you're like, you know what? This ain't right. This is not right. And that's just the way it's been, you know what I mean?
Well, that's pretty big of you to actually admit that you were a bully at one time. I can actually see that, Dario, because you're a big guy, man. That's pretty scary. You know.
I mean, I can give you stories, but I mean, it's not.
Right. Well, we'll save that for the next show.
Right.
But going back to Johnny here. And Johnny, you've mentioned this on the show, on the morning show several times, and we've shared this story with each other when you helped us do the turkey, the delivery of the turkeys on Thanksgiving. Did you ever find yourself being bullied or being made fun of because of the humble beginnings that we both came from? I mean, we both came from poor families and stuff like that. And I can remember people making fun of me because I wasn't wearing the cool shoes or this and that, and you know that hurt. But I knew that we couldn't afford it. I mean, do you still see that occurring today? And how has that changed now with your success?
You know, I come from just like a lot of kids here in El Paso, from nothing. I mean, had to work my way up, just like everyone. You had to work for everything. It's crazy because doing the ride-alongs with you guys during the holidays, it just took me back memories and of how hard some people have it, and how sometimes you can't afford the nice Jordans, you can't afford the nice, you know, the nice clothing and everything, and how kids can be insensitive to that and call you poor and call you dirty and this and that, and you're broke, and your family, and then they go after your family and they target you, and it hurts and it hurts and it hurts, and it goes throughout the years. And you know, inside, when that happens to you, inside, there's one of two things. You can either take it as, remember this, like the way I did, I remember this, and be better yourself. You know, just because you weren't born, no one's born, you know, you're lucky if you're born rich, but a lot of us have to work to get to that level of just being, you know, into the medium class of society. And it's horrible when you're ridiculed because you don't have the fashion, you don't have the nice things, your parents don't drive a nice car, you know, you don't live in a nice house. You know, I came from, you know, literally my parents living in an apartment behind a 7-Eleven, a 1-bedroom, literally just a horrible, just little apartment. I go back there sometimes, and it's just a reflection of how hard I've had to work to make myself better. And it goes on throughout the years. You carry that with you. And for all the kids that are out there that are in the struggle, don't give up. You know, you pave your own road.
Javi, I saw you nodding your head in agreement with what Johnny was saying. Do you think that, you know, kids who are being bullied today, and a lot of them, as Johnny said earlier, turn to suicide or even further means of hurting themselves? But there is hope, right? I mean,
there is hope. I mean, a perfect example, like you said, bullying comes in different ways, and it's not just, you know, kids, it's adults as well. I mean, me and Johnny still get bullied with our height. And I mean, we get jokes every day. Oh, you're short, you're short. I still get it, you know, and I still get, you know, people telling me, oh, you have a big forehead. I know I have a big forehead, you know? But I think what you gotta do is rise above it, you know, try to, you know, now everybody takes it different, you know. I hear it all the time, but you gotta try and be a better person and say, you know what, don't let it get to you.
Right. Dario, you're the biggest prankster of all. I think when they were referring to they still being bullied at work today, I think they're probably referring to you because you are the boss a little there, aren't you? So you did admit to being a bully. So any last piece of advice you'd like to offer anybody that's being bullied today?
If you're being bullied, seek help. Tell somebody and just try to, you know, stop it, you know. And even if you're talking to the person that's doing the bullying to you and be like, hey, what's going on? What do you seriously have against me?
Once again, guys, the Anti-Bullying Coalition would like to thank you for coming out here and joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
There you go. Finally, a face to the voice of the DJs at 104.3 Hit FM. They say that music soothes the soul, and one of the soldiers leading the battle against the war on bullying is Lady Gaga. This film that you're about to see next was shot by CBS as Lady Gaga honors and pays tribute to one of our fallen victims to bullying.
We lost a little monster this week.
In front of a sold-out crowd in Las Vegas this weekend, Lady Gaga paid tribute to one of her biggest fans, 14-year-old Jamie Rodmeyer, who took his own life after enduring years of bullying.
Jamie, I know you're up there looking at us, and you're not a victim. You're a lesson to all of us.
Hours earlier in suburban Buffalo, family and friends gathered to celebrate the teen's brief life. He was laid to rest in a Lady Gaga t-shirt, forever bearing his idol's message, born this way.
She lets me know that I was born this way, I mean, it was his dream in his life to meet her and tell her how she influenced him.
Lady Gaga, who preaches a message of acceptance and tolerance to her millions of fans, is taking the teen's death to heart, tweeting, "Bullying must become illegal. It is a hate crime. I am meeting with our president. I will not stop fighting." A sentiment his family shares as well.
It's up to us to make a change because of this. It's up to us to stop the bullying. It's up to us to spread his message.
Bullying is for losers.
It's a cause Jamie surely would have been proud of.
He was just so much for her message. Besides family, she was the biggest influence in his life.
Michelle Miller, CBS News, New York.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. We hope that you help the Anti-Bullying Coalition spread the message that bullying will not be tolerated. We hope that you join us in the future as we bring you further shows and more information on the issue of bullying. We would like to thank our friends at the El Paso Independent School District for allowing us to use their production facility and for producing this show. We would also like to thank our friends at KTSM for allowing us to air this show and educate the community on the issues of bullying. We would also like to thank all of our Anti-Bullying Coalition members for all the hard work and dedication that they have shown to this program. We ask that if you require further information or would like to join the Anti-Bullying Coalition and help us out in volunteering at any of our upcoming events, that you visit us at our website, epcabc.com, or that you contact the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, where we could provide you with further information. Until then, please remember to say enough to bullying and help us get along.